Welcome back, Student of the Game podcast. All right, people, today was day one of the NBA free agency. I was getting ready to say NBA finals, but we are in the NBA free agency. The finals was just, about a week and a half ago? Man, a lot of stuff is going on. Still got USA basketball playing, but let's talk about today's big news in NBA free agency, day one. All right, Kyle Lowry, a.k.a. Mike Lowry's nephew. He has signed with the Miami Heat, all right? So that means the Miami Heat, you got Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Buckets. They traded Goran Dragic. They kept Duncan Robinson, and you have Tyler Hero, and they signed P.J. Tucker. Those are some good moves for the Miami Heat. Those are some good moves for the Miami Heat. You added two good two-way players. Both guys are up in the age, but hey, you're adding two guys who have won NBA championships recently. Okay, so that's a good pickup for the Miami Heat. I like that. I can definitely dig that. I could see them still contending in the East. This move right here definitely this affects the Bucks two ways. Number one, you're taking away a real good player, a defender, and P.J. Tucker. And it's one thing if P.J. Tucker went to a team that's not a potential contender or a team that's in the West, but he joined up to the Miami Heat, which is an opponent that you're more than likely you're going to end up coming across because they faced each other the past 2 years in a row. All right, so we're going to see how that goes. All right, let's see. Who else? Chris Paul has re-signed back with the Phoenix Suns, so that's good for the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul, he signed another 4-year deal. It's amazing. A couple years ago with my Rockets, everybody was like, you know what? Chris Paul is going to be done after this 4-year deal. He'll probably retire a Rocket. And when the Rockets traded him, mostly everybody, they're not going to admit it, but mostly everybody, including me, they were like, man, yeah, he's not getting another like a max deal. And bam, there he goes. Once again, I wish he would have started that vegan diet when he was a Houston Rocket, or if he was a Los Angeles Clipper, probably could have got a championship in one of those teams. But okay, it's going to be tough for the Suns to repeat out that Western Conference. I'll tell you that, but that helps their case. The fact that they was able to re-sign Chris Paul, they did re-sign Cameron Payne. That's a real good signing right there. Cameron Payne, he really came into his own this year, and I was very impressed with this young man's game. They also signed JaVale McGee. Yes, the JaVale McGee. All right, JaVale McGee, he's going to bring length, rebounding, defense, shot blocking, and he set some magnificent screens. So I think you're going to see a lot of lobs being thrown up his way from Chris Paul to JaVale McGee. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. Oh, it's a long day, people, long day. All right, let's see. We have Mike Conley. He re-signed with a 3-year deal back to the Utah Jazz. Now, here's the thing. How great are the Utah Jazz going to be next year? They had the number 1 seed in the West this year. Is bringing back Mike Conley, is that the right move? Well, we'll see. I like Mike Conley. I think he's a good player, but he is up in age, all right? Made his first All-Star team this past season, so that's great too. All right. Let's see, the New York Knicks, they re-signed Derrick Rose, and they add Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier played for France, was playing for France right now. He really balled against the United States, man. He looked like an all-world player out there, man. Well, he was literally all-world because it's the Olympics, right? All right, world competition. But, I don't know if he's going to be a good fit in Tom Thibodeau's system. Evan Fournier, he's not historically known for his defense. I believe he is capable of playing defense, and most of the times with defense, people, it's all about effort. All right, so we'll see. But you know what? What the Knicks did lack in the playoffs? Consistent scoring. Okay, if they wasn't getting it from Randall, they wasn't getting consistent scoring from Julius Randle in the playoffs like he performed in the regular season. And then, Derrick Rose, he did his thing, but Derrick Rose, listen, one guy can't take the team to the next level. So adding a player like Evan Fournier, I think this is going to make the New York Knicks offense even better. When they make the playoffs next year, they should make the playoffs next year. I don't suspect that Julius Randle will play like how he did this past season in the playoffs. I think he's going to be better. I expect him to be better. He's a phenomenal player. I'm a big fan of Julius Randle. Derrick Rose, of course, going to do his thing, but adding Evan Fournier to the mix, that's going to take off any additional scoring pressure, additional weight off of Derrick Rose and Julius Randle's shoulders. All right, good move. The Dallas Mavericks, they re-signed Tim Hardaway Jr. Man, let me tell you something. I'm glad Tim Hardaway Jr. is getting paid. The thing about it is every time I see the name Tim Hardaway Jr. out there playing professional basketball, it just reminds me how old I am. I'm not going to tell you my age, but it just reminds me how old I am because growing up, man, that was one of my favorite point guards for about 5 years, Tim Hardaway, man. Like I know we got the Allen Iverson crossover, the Kobe crossover, and all this and stuff, but my favorite crossover always been the killer crossover by Tim Hardaway. You know, you go boom, boom. You know, that crossover, I used to practice that move a lot, and guess what? I never perfected it. But at times when I was able to execute that move, guess what? I got to where I needed to be. But unfortunately, I didn't always make the shot, you know. But it was cool to see. And I've always been a fan of Tim Hardaway, man. Golden State Warriors, Miami Heat. But I'm waiting. I'm glad Tim Hardaway Jr. got his money. I'm glad the young man got paid. Shout out to you, young dude. But listen, I'm waiting on you to do that Tim Hardaway Sr. crossover. You're going to have to do that. I know your dad showed you how to do it, all right? Just have confidence in it, all right? Just have confidence in yourself and do it. I want to see you do it. And then you can pop a three in somebody's face, but just don't do it on my Houston Rockets, okay? You can do that on anybody else except for my Houston Rockets, all right? For real. Let's see. Who else got some? Oh, the Chicago Bulls. They signed Lonzo Ball. That is a good move. I like that move. All right? I like that move. It's going to be him and Zach LaVine in the backcourt. I think that's going to be a real good backcourt, the dynamic of those two. The thing about it is with Lonzo Ball, he is not a ball-dominant point guard. He can pass the ball. He's very athletic, but check this out. He understands the fact that the ball moves faster than the player. All right, nobody can outrun the ball, and he's a big guard too. So when he has smaller guards on him, he can get them down in the post, and he loves to play defense. He's a solid on the ball defender. At times, he's shown that he's capable of picking up the offensive player 94 feet. All right, so I'm looking forward to this. And also, he can play off ball a little where he can catch and shoot. He's gotten a little bit better with his three-point shot, but that's not something I don't think the Bulls will be heavily reliant upon him on. But I do think he has the capability of where he can pass the ball to somebody, and then he can move it out the ball in a give-and-go situation, or he can catch a lob. Because I think, let me see, Lonzo's about 6'6", 6'7", something like that. And I think that's going to be a real good backcourt with him and Zach LaVine. And they got Vucevic, and they have Lauren Markkanen. You know, so you got two real good solid bigs, two real very good big men out there, and who knows how to set screens. They can knock down jumpers. So this Chicago Bulls offense, watch, it's going to be pretty good. Matter of fact, I had the Chicago Bulls. With that addition, I have the Bulls. Okay, let me see. I have them making the playoffs. Okay, I think at best they're going to be the number 5 seed. All right. Maybe number 5 or number 4 seed, but I'm going to put them at the number 5 seed. I know that's pretty random. One of my friends, Chris, he said that's random, but hey, that's what came to my mind, all right? All my thoughts are random until all my thoughts come together, and it doesn't look random. It's just putting the puzzle together. But I think the Bulls are going to be a good team this year. They should make the playoffs as long as everyone stays healthy. Knock on wood, all right? Let's see. Who else? Now, we understand that Daryl Morey, he's still trying to trade Ben Simmons. What's crazy about this stuff, if they don't trade Ben Simmons when Ben Simmons come back to camp, they're going to be like, man, we wasn't trying to trade you all along. But you know how it goes, people. You know how it goes. They always trying to trade people, Let's see. Who else? Now, the Atlanta Hawks, they're still trying to work out a deal with John Collins. He's a restricted agent. Speaking of the Atlanta Hawks, they signed Trae Young to a $207 million deal. Love it. Let me tell you something, Atlanta Hawks. Listen, you have something very, very special with Trae Young. Do not do Trae Young the way you did the Human highlight film. You know how you did the human highlight film. He played for y'all for all those years. Then in 1994 season, the Atlanta Hawks, they are the number 1 seed in the East, okay? The number 1 seed. Go back and look at it. When you had Dominique Wilkins, Kevin Willis, Stacey Augmon, Mookie Blaylock, all right? Real good team. Trade deadline, guess who they trade? Their best player, Dominique Wilkins. Why? Because they didn't want to pay him max money at the end of the season. Well, that's fine, but you could have kept him and you probably could have contended for a championship, all right? But they trade him, and not only did they not trade him to another contender, they traded him to the Los Angeles Clippers, people. Now, people talk about the Clippers right now. The Clippers of now are way better than the Clippers back in the day, okay? The Clippers back in the day were like my Houston Texans right now. All right. So, yeah, even worse than that. But they traded him to the Clippers. And when he went to the Clippers, he still averaged 29 points a game, but there was no hope of getting them to the playoffs. So I didn't like that. Though they did Dominique Wilkins dirty. Don't do Trae Young dirty. All right. And you can't say just because we signed him to this deal, that doesn't mean we're going to do him dirty. No, Dominique Wilkins was still in his prime, like 32 years old. So when Trae Young is 32 years old and still giving them buckets, don't do that to Trae Young. Or when they get to the level where they're the number 1 seed in the East, don't do that to Trae Young. That's not good. All right. I'm still upset with the Atlanta Hawks over that, and I'm not even an Atlanta Hawks fan. You know, Atlanta Hawks fans out there, you let me know how you feel. Comment below. For real, man. That's crazy. Oh, the Golden State Warriors, they signed Steph Curry to a max extension. I believe it was about $215 million. So guess what? So all those rumors about Steph Curry joining LeBron James or Steph Curry joining the New York Knicks next year or whatever because they got all this cap room, guess what? It's not gonna happen. 4 more years in Golden State. I can't wait to see him and Klay Thompson back at it. They also, speaking of Golden State, they also signed Otto Porter Jr., which is a good move for them. I like that move. I'm also speaking with Golden State, Ken Bazemore. He signed with the Los Angeles Lakers. And since we're talking about the LA Lakers, man, those Lakers, they re-signed Trevor Ariza. They re-signed Dwight Howard. They signed Wayne Ellington. All right. And the word around the campfire is that they are possibly trying to land Carmelo Anthony. I don't know how that's going to work, but we shall see. I would say this Los Angeles Lakers team is a very, very old team. They are old, but, you know, health, that's going to be a key thing for them, you know. But and time is not on their side, not based on our age. No, it's not on their side, but we shall see. They got a lot of veterans. I'm pretty sure they're going to add a couple more veterans out there. So we'll see what the Los Angeles Lakers are going to do. All right, let's see. Okay, let's see. DeMar DeRozan, he hasn't signed with anybody yet. You know what? My Houston Rockets, they signed Theis. Theis, who's nice, from the Boston Celtics. That dude there, 6'9", 245, 250-pound power forward / center. Man, this guy here is an excellent finisher at around the basket. He will dunk on you. All right. He sets real good screens. I love that. Setting screens should be a statistical category. For real, it should be. I'm surprised it's not, but it should be. All right, and he's a real good passer. So I think he's going to blend in well with Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Christian Wood, Jae'Sean Tate, and my guy Alperion Sengun. So I cannot wait to see my Houston Rockets play. Well, also John Wall and Eric Gordon, they're still Houston Rockets. All right, so I'm gonna pull for them as Houston Rockets as long as they are Houston Rockets. Okay, so. But so far, that's pretty much all what we have as of right now for day 1 for the NBA free agency. All right. So, you know, if you're listening to the podcast on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcast from, or Anchor, hey, man, comment in drop a review and let me know who do you think your team is going to get in free agency or in a trade, or are you cool? Are you okay with so far day 1 free agency for your team, and what do you expect from your team? All right. And if you're watching on YouTube, comment, share your thoughts on this subject below, and hit that like button, that subscribe button. All right. Student of the game. Peace.